In a remote African village surrounded by ancient, towering trees, lived Amara, a woman known throughout the land for her mesmerizing beauty and unmatched kindness. Yet, despite her warm spirit, no man dared approach her. Over the years, whispers grew louder. People claimed Amara was cursed, bound to a fate of solitude, and that any man who dared to court her would meet a grim and mysterious end.
One evening, as she sat by the river, an elder woman with piercing eyes appeared from the mist, someone Amara had never seen before. The elder revealed that her great-grandmother had unknowingly angered a forest deity by taking something precious from the spirit realm. The deity had cursed her bloodline so that love would remain out of reach, generation after generation, until someone from her lineage could return what had been taken. Undeterred by the risks, Amara felt a surge of courage. She was determined to be the last in her family to carry the curse. The next morning, Amara set out alone, carrying only a small pouch of herbs and a talisman given to her by Mama Osi for protection. As she entered the forest, the air grew thick with magic, and shadows seemed to watch her from every corner. Strange whispers floated through the trees, and eerie lights flickered in the darkness. It was here that she met a mysterious traveler named Kamari, who seemed to know more about the forest than he let on. With a quiet strength and piercing gaze, Kamari offered to guide her, but Amara sensed he was hiding something. Together, they traveled deeper into the forest, facing creatures and spirits that challenged their every step. They encountered a river that demanded a secret in exchange for safe passage, forcing Amara to reveal a memory she had buried long ago. Each trial grew harder, pulling her into her own mind and heart, unearthing hidden fears and insecurities. Yet, with every challenge, Amara felt her courage grow stronger, her resolve hardening as she inched closer to her goal. Amara stood before the ancient tree, a mirror to her deepest fears and insecurities, reflecting everything she had tried to bury. In these reflections, she faced the truths she had hidden from herself, each image strengthening her resolve to continue. Along their journey, Amara began to feel an unexpected connection with Kamari. Though he was mysterious and guarded, he had a quiet compassion that she couldn't ignore. But just as she began to trust him, Kamari revealed a hidden truth that stirred an unsettling feeling within her. As Amara got closer to the spirit world, she realized that the relic she was looking for was no ordinary object. It was a special pendant. But to take it, she had to be brave enough to face her own fears. She finally understood that the curse came from the spirit's deep pain, not just anger. The spirit's sadness reminded her of her own loneliness, and in that moment, she felt sorry for the spirit, even though it had trapped her in a life of loneliness. The spirit came out of the shadows. It was tall and looked like a mix of human and animal, with eyes that shined like fire. Its presence filled the air with a strange power, making Amara feel a chill down her spine. The spirit's voice was deep and old, echoing through the trees as it explained how difficult her task would be. The spirit asked for one last sacrifice, a true sign of regret. The only way to restore balance was to free Kamari, a spirit trapped in the human world. Amara's heart ached at the difficult decision she faced, but Kamari understood what needed to be done. He gave her a nod, urging her to complete her mission, reminding her that this was about something much greater than just the two of them. With a heavy heart, Amara placed the pendant in the spirit's hands. As she did, she softly spoke words of forgiveness and sorrow, hoping they would reach the spirit and ease its sadness. The forest seemed to hold its breath as a bright light surrounded them, breaking the curse that had bound her and her family for generations. As the light faded, she looked at Kamari, who was starting to disappear, his shape blending back into the spirit of the forest. She reached out, wanting to hold on to him, but he smiled, a peaceful, thankful look in his eyes as he whispered, "Maybe we will meet again in another life." And with that, he was gone, leaving Amara alone by the lake, the curse broken but her heart aching with a mix of sadness and peace. Amara came back to the village, changed by her journey. She no longer felt alone. She realized she had found something important, a strong bond with herself, with her ancestors, and the courage to face whatever the future might bring. The village welcomed Amara back with open arms, sensing a transformation in her. She was no longer bound by the curse, and the people celebrated her return, though only she knew the true depth of her journey and the sacrifices she had made. As she sat by the river, Amara reflected on the journey that had changed her life. She thought of Kumari, of the spirits, and of the ancient trees that witnessed her transformation. The forest was at peace now, and so was she. Now unburdened by the curse, Amara found herself free to welcome new possibilities. For the first time, she allowed herself to consider love, a feeling she had long thought impossible. One evening, as she walked along the forest's edge, Amara caught a glimpse of Kumari's spirit, a silent promise that her journey had left a mark on both worlds. With a quiet smile, she watched him fade into the trees, knowing he would always be part of her story. Amara's journey had come full circle. The curse was no longer a shadow over her life, and her path was no longer uncertain. With the man she had come to love by her side, she walked into a future filled with hope, knowing that the cycle of life, of loss, growth, and rebirth, would continue, just as the forest and the village thrived together. The story of Amara teaches us that no matter how dark the past may seem, healing begins from within. True courage is found in facing the hardest truths about ourselves, and through compassion, both for others and ourselves, we can overcome even the heaviest burdens. Life is not about avoiding the trials, but about finding strength in overcoming them.